Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. By the virtue of the powers vested in me as Vice-Chancellor and Principal, I hereby declare that this congregation of the Valley University of Technology is duly constituted for the diplomas and degrees to be conferred to those students whose names appear on the program.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a congregation, you are invited to observe a moment as we observe a prayer before we commence with the official program. Let us pray. Dear Almighty, the Omniscient One, we come before you with all humility to serve you and your people. Please guide us in everything that we say and do. Bless each and every one of us and bless our institution. Inspire us to strive for that which is good and not to be self-seeking and serve our own interests, but let everything be done to your glory. Use us as your vessels of honor so that the fruit of our labor may endure for peace and goodwill towards all mankind. We ask this in your name. Amen. Let us be seated. Welcome to the graduation ceremony of the Valley University of Technology at the Vanderbilt Park campus. Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to welcome you as a congregation gathered here today to witness and celebrate the achievements of our students at VUT on this momentous occasion. A special word of welcome to our distinguished guests, members of staff, families, and friends. To all diplomants and graduates, welcome to this long-awaited day. May it be everything you hoped for. Vice-Chancellor, it is my honor to present to you candidates of the Faculty of Applied and Computer Sciences of the Valley University of Technology, whose names appear on the program for the receiving of diplomas and degrees. These are the students that missed the afternoon graduation ceremony. For the National Diploma, Analytical Chemistry, Komane SB. Nkosi City. For the Baccalaureate Technology Chemistry, Musweswe E. Maposa TP. For the National Diploma, Information Technology, Adibayo S.O. cum laude. Bongwala NCD. KE. Chauke NE. Chauke RS. Choma SK. Kamali R. Koza SK. Lipoto MQ. Rubengo MG. Mabaso N. Mabia TL. Mabusela WB. Makaza M. Malika T. Mamabulo M.O. Manchi MP.
Mapunupun.
Mapunupunu DM. Thank you. Masango MM. Mashabela SJ. Masheko BP. Mashwewu TLKM. Masipa TM.
Masuba.
Masuba U. Masuku NF. Masuta T. Matidze M. Matlaila L. Matlala H. Mavula LG. Mazia MP. Mbogazi SK. Thank you. Thank you. Milatu LK. Mhlongo S. Mikosi N. Mlangeni M.W. Mudiba L.R. Mukhitli M.A. Mulefi K. Mulokana T.M. Mloto V. Monareng MC. Monakutla TGS. Morake Pip. Sorry. I request to be given a chance to pronounce a name so that his parents or whoever accompanied him can hear that. Morake PP. More KS. Mutloung NM. Moyo VV. Mpenyana ME. Mpepu M. Mpuri TG. Msibi MP. Mtombeni ND. Mulauzi P. Muswazi GR. Natane N. Nekunguni T. Nemalili VT. Nechizati ML. Ngonyama RP. Ngungu WNE. Thank you. Ngwenyama TSS. Nkanyane KM. Nkomo BJ. Nkosi S.
No.
Novella WW. Ngumalo TE. Nyandeni S. Pizza TP. Poto KT. Rantsaila MB. Ratau KT. Rikotso HO. Rikotso MN. Sateche RF. Sibuku N. Sichotlo KJ. Sirayelo LP. Siroka LM. Sitabela AB. Sitojan M. Situaro PL. Surely O. Shopping N. Sibanda B. CBC KT. Sitole SP. Sikosana SSJ. Twala QC. Chikochi T. Chindane M. Chisikule HS. Silo YM. Solo T. OBCP. And Ndwandwe DS. For the baccalaureate, technology, information technology. Katadi IG cum laude. Thank you. Altaki K. Chauke E.
Elabo LB.
Ilabo LB. Fumba T. Gule MS. Kizanga D. Dieta MA. Mabaso K. Machedi MJ. Mahlasela LS. Maluleke X. Mashabane EL. Mhlanga TK. Mudibane MM. Molefi O. Mutema JM. Mutapo BG. Mutsifane MJ. Ndamase S. Denisa TB. Nedzingane F. Netabani MW. Nkashama EM. Ntloko. Is it Ntloko? Ntloko N. Chingila T.E. Baka KP. Bilusa BD. Pinto TAC. Ragazza M. Rapiri NL. Sinukwane BB. Sirakwana SM. Sulo LP. Chimpi AN.
Is it Valley or Willie?
And Willie L. For the Magister Technologia, Information Technology. The dissertation titled Developing a Formula for the Comparison of Athletics Performances Across Gender, Age, and even boundaries based on South African standards, supervised by Dr. J.F. van Rensbeck, Becker SWJ. Kolo. Okay. The dissertation titled, The Assessment of E-Learning Readiness in South African Schools, supervised by Prof. T. Zuba and co-supervised by Ms. R. van Eck, Kolo D.I. Dissertation titled Malware Analysis and Detection in Enterprise Systems, supervised by Professor T. Zuba, co-supervised by Dr. A. Haramse Mukwena T. The dissertation titled A Conceptual Framework for Crowdsourcing in Education, supervised by Professor T. Zuba and co-supervised by Ms. R. van Eck, Shongwe T.W. For the Vice Chancellor's Awards. These awards are given to students who obtained the highest average in their faculty for their national diploma, postgraduate diploma, baccalaureate technology, and magister technology. Katadi IG for the BTech, which is the Baccalaureate Technology, Information Technology. Come forward. Kadadi, come forward. Vice Chancellor, I hereby request that you confer the diplomas and degrees in absentia on those students whose names appear on the program but could not be present today.
I hereby do confer the degrees and the diplomas in absentia on those students whose names appear on the program and could not be here today.
Vice Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
May I take this opportunity to recognize the following people present and in absentia. The Chancellor in absentia, the Chairperson of Council in absentia, members of Council here in present, members of Senate and the academic staff, members of the administrative staff, members of the organized labor, Ndeu and Nehau, members of the SRC, members of the university choir, members of the corporate affairs department who worked behind doors to make the graduation ceremony a success it has turned out to be, as well as members of the registrar's portfolio who equally worked behind doors in making certain that this graduation ceremony becomes a success. Members of the media, parents and sponsors, last but by no means least, our graduates. Colleagues, let me take this opportunity to express on behalf of management, and I would like the students to join me by lifting their certificates, because without the members of the academic staff on stage, you would not be having those certificates. Colleagues, thank you very much for what you have been and for what you continue to be. It has not been easy. There were times when you had to go home late and sometimes not even sleep. And there were times when the students would give you sleepless nights, but nonetheless, through the resilience that you have, the fruits of your labor today show that indeed it was worth it. So thank you ever so much. Students, can you also join me in thanking the members of the academic staff who made it a point that you are here today? Rise and show your appreciation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, in South Africa, we are such a very interesting, diverse nation. I once attended a graduation in one of the universities, and I'm not going to tell you the name. And you know how they do it in Limpopo. When students walk across the stage, the mamas would dance and shake what their mama gave them. And so there was a Mr. Divet whose son was Nicholas. And so as he was watching how the mamas from Limpopo do it, and then when the daughter from Limpopo climbed down the stage, he stood up and went to this mama and said, "Mama, when it is my son's turn to climb on the stage, could you do that African dance for me?" Because I really enjoyed it. And so indeed, when the son to Nicholas came on stage, it was not only one mama from Limpopo, but quite a group, came forward. And men, they did it. They did it. They shook what their mama gave them. And so when, shall we call him David? When David climbed down the stage, he went to his dad and said, "Dad, how did you manage to get that?" And the dad said, "My boy, this is South Africa. Today I've made a deal for you." And indeed, David said, "But I really want to meet that mama's daughter, because that was something very special. In my culture, we would not have done it the way they did it." And so after the ceremony, there they were, taking addresses and telephone numbers and Gmail, emails, and etc. And since then, they lived happily ever after. That is what it means to be a South African. We're living in a diverse society, so it is great. Colleagues, let me also express this management's gratitude to the choir, which has rendered beautiful music. This choir has won almost every competition they've been to. If you were to do yourselves a big favor by taking a walk to the Vice Chancellor's office, you will see and witness the beauty of this choir. There are countless trophies in that office because of this choir. And we had a dream as the management. We said these African voices cannot come to VUT and lift VUT without them having recorded a CD. And today we are proud to announce that this choir has recorded 16 songs and their CD is going to be launched. And when it is launched, through our Corporate Affairs Department, we will be extending an invitation to you all. And please do make a contribution towards this choir, because it is not just good enough to ululate on graduation days, but you don't have a copy of that CD. So it's going to be available, I'm not too sure when, but before the end of this year, at a reasonable price. But of course, I mean, if it is selling for 100 rands, you can add another 100 rand willingly, you know. Just to say, I come from VUT and I support this choir by putting in just, you know, another 100 rand. It's not going to be a big deal, because the proceeds of the CD will go towards the fees of these beautiful children. And I think you would agree with me that this is really a good cause. So let me briefly share with you a few words of the congratulatory speech, and I'm not going to be long because we have been here since 9 this morning. The theme of my speech is remembering the power of I will. And mine is a very simple and a short one, and that is to wish each and every graduate well in your future endeavors as you walk the path of making a better life for yourselves, for your communities, and for your families. In whatever way you will be shaping your future, please just remember the power of I will. If you set your mind, your soul, and your spirit in fulfilling your parents' dreams and your own dreams, you will succeed. The world out there is rough and tough, and getting a university qualification is by no means a guarantee for a job, but it is a stepping stone towards achieving and realizing your dreams, only if you realize the power of I will. If you do get a job, that is well and good, but if not, then you should not despair, but rather look at ways of being entrepreneurial by creating your own jobs and jobs for the others as well. I think that is very important. You know, let me just pause and make a practical example. When my son graduated from Nelson Mandela University some couple of years back, and I said to him, my boy, I've paid for your fees now, it's your turn to plow back. Get yourself a job so that you can pay back the money that I spent on you. And he said to me, Dad, I'm not going to get a job. I am going to create a job for myself. I said, but my boy, you don't have money, you know, to start a business. And he said, Dad, you've gone so far with me. Surely if you give me seed funding to start my job, that's not going to make you any poorer. Well, I had to scratch my head, and my wife said, let's help the child. But I said, well, you see, this boy has been at university now for 4 years, forgetting all the years at high school, and we spent so much now. No, let's try. Well, fast forward, we gave him some money, and now he's running his own business in PE. And he said that he's not going to look around for a job. Why I'm saying this? I'm saying it because it is not impossible if you put your mind into the power of I will. And so just think and imagine a corruption-free society. You know, each time you listen to the news, each time you read a newspaper, every day there is a corruption story that is being told and retold. And so I challenge you, particularly in this field of applied and computer science, which is a very interesting field. Don't fall into that trap. We want you to hoist the flag of VUT very high in fighting for a corrupt-free society. Think and imagine of a crime-free society in which women and children would feel safe to walk up and down the streets of our townships and villages without fearing of being raped and molested. It is really a crime when you read that a 7-year-old, 94-year-old woman has been raped by a boy of 24. I mean, it's a crime. In fact, it is worse than a crime. I don't even know how to describe it. I want you to shape and change our society. Think and imagine you being the creators of wealth and not expecting handouts from government. You know, I was listening to radio music this morning, and this guy who was singing says something like, uhulumeni wethu usifake enkingeni ngoba manje amadodakazi ethu anabantwana abawu6 ngoba uhulumeni ubabhatala imali. You see, that's a challenge. And I want you to say, no. We are not going to fall into the trap of those grants. We are going to make life extremely different for our communities and for ourselves by standing up and say, chin up. I want you to think and imagine practicing true love towards one another, which the Greek language explains as follows. By the way, in Greek, there are 7 kinds of love in Greek. Now, those of you who have not been spotted yet, I want you to recognize these kinds of love so that if a boy comes to you, or a man, shall I say, and says, I love you, you should really be able to say to him, what kind of love do you love me with? If he's not able to, then you must know it's not a genuine love. Likewise, you guys, if a woman, because remember, now women are able to approach men, you know, and propose. If a woman comes to you and says, I love you, you must equally be able to say, define the kind of love you love me. So, the Greeks identify the following. Mother to father love, it's called eros. It's an erotic love. And then there is mother to child love. That is called storge. You know, it is the mother who knows the father of the child. Let me explain it this way. And I'm not trying to be chauvinistic, Bomme. You get a baby crying, and mama will say, hey, tula mutlong, hey, manano khatatsa. And then she steps outside and says, tula wena kwena. And the child will stop crying. So that is, you know, that is. And then we've got love that is called filial. Filial is that kind of love which expresses fellowship and friendship. And then we have the love of self, philatia. We've got the long-lasting love, pragma. And we've got playful love. When a dad plays with a daughter or a granddaughter, that's love called ludus. And then we've got God's everlasting love, and that is called agape. And that one is very easy. I mean, just think of it in Zulu when you say angapeli, it's agape, so that's very easy. You will be able to get it. But you see, colleagues, I plead with you. Think and imagine a society in which we can all join hands and embrace the philosophy of the late King Sobhuza II of the Kingdom of Eswatini, as articulated by Professor Landandwe in her book, Akusiko Kwami Kwebantu. It is not about me, it's about the people. So, as you will be exploring the ways and means of making a better life, just say to the society out there, it is not about you, it is about the people in which you will be living in that community to make a better life. And that is why Leo Buscaglia would always conclude his motivational speeches by saying, only you can make the difference. And these are the words which I want to pass over to you. And it's not me, but I'm quoting Leo Buscaglia. And he said, you alone can bring magic and humor and joy to the people you encounter. Anything you dream, by the very nature that you can dream it, makes it possible. For the purpose of life is to help others. And if you can't help them, would you at least not hurt them? You can make things happen that you never thought you could. The greatest risk in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, has nothing, does nothing, and is nothing. To be is to do, and to do is to do now, because tomorrow might not be there. You have everything you need to be so much. Don't settle for less. There is no end to human potential, and there is so much more to learn. And the time for action is now, and only you can make the difference. Congratulations, and go out there and make the difference. I thank you. Before we dissolve this congregation, allow me once again to request you, as a sign of appreciation and great indebtedness to your parents, to your sponsors, and yet again to our academics here. You rise, you lift your certificate on your right-hand side and your mortarboard on your left-hand side. You look at the direction of your parents or your relatives and you wave your certificates. I think that they will really feel good about it. Do that, please. Thank you very much. The only challenge which I had was that the parents here in present did not join you in ululating. Thank you. All right, thank you very much. By virtue of the powers vested in me as Vice Chancellor, I now dissolve the congregation of the VUT University of Technology.